Come on, man! Come on, man! Come on, man!
All right, good morning. How's everybody doing? Happy Saturday. Welcome to the College Football Kickoff Show every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. during the college football season. Get you straightened out for all the day's games. Did it yesterday, too, because, of course, two full days of games. Rivalry weekend. The Texas A&M game was the game of the day yesterday, I guess, wasn't it? The noon games were a little disappointing. The Georgia Tech game was just bad football, and not very entertaining to watch at all. But that Texas A&M game was something serious. Yeah, I mean, that was a big win for Texas. That's probably going to get Texas into the biggest non-playoff bowl game. Like, whatever pointless bowl game Alabama played in last year, that win probably vaulted Texas into that spot. So that's a huge win. A huge win for the Shorthorn man there. So shout out to him for that. Texas into playoffs. Playoffs? Texas needs a lot of help to get into the playoffs. They need a lot of teams to lose today. And it's not going to happen. Not going to happen. Anyway, how's everybody doing? Week 14. Full slate of games today. Starting at noon all the way through prime time. We, of course, have Michigan, Ohio State at noon. The Iron Bowl in prime time. And a bunch of great 3:30 games sandwiched in between there. The streaming schedule today is Patreon at noon. So for those of you that want to hang out and watch some football today, Patreon at noon. Gave away $100 on the Patreon stream yesterday. Shout out to, who won that? Asante? Probably saying it wrong. But I didn't name him. So how am I supposed to know how to pronounce it, right? If I named him, I could pronounce it any way I wanted to. And then if someone told me I pronounced it wrong, I could go, no, I named him. That is how you pronounce it. Dummy. What the fuck are you talking about? We've had a guaranteed spot for 2 weeks. Texas? No. Texas hasn't had a guaranteed playoff spot at any point this season. And they don't have one now. Type about it. You didn't have a guaranteed playoff spot when you lost week 1 to Ohio State. You didn't have a guaranteed playoff spot when you got humiliated by a dog shit Florida team. You didn't have a guaranteed playoff spot when Georgia beat the absolute soul and will to live out of you. And you don't have a playoff spot after you beat Texas A&M yesterday. There hasn't been a single point this season where you had a guaranteed playoff spot. Type. You're not going to the playoffs at 9-3, no matter how mad it makes you. Typing in my comment section is not going to change it either. So, yeah. You don't have a playoff spot, bud. Are there any Alabama fans in here? Alabama man. Tell Texas they don't have a playoff spot because they don't deserve one, just like you last year. Tell them so I don't have to. Speaking of guaranteed spots, guess who the only team in the SEC with a guaranteed spot in the SEC title game is? The Kings of the SEC are the first team to clinch their spot in the SEC title game. That shouldn't come as a surprise or a shock to anyone. The SEC's been run through Georgia for a while. Yeah. We'll see which bag of bones shows up there to tote an ass whipping, depending on who wins the Iron Bowl. I don't know. The rumor is that Alabama's going to purposely lose today so that they don't have to play Georgia in the SEC championship game. That's what I heard. course, I don't blame them. Alabama is winless all time in same season rematches against Georgia, so I'm sure they're in no hurry to get their ass beat again. Yeah. Anyway, let's run through the schedule. We've wasted enough time. There's plenty of time for trolling during the live streams when I get to read dumb comments for 3.5 hours straight. Let's not do that here. All right, let's go through the schedule of games. We'll recap yesterday real quick, I guess, for no particular reason, but Indiana beat the life out of Purdue 56-3. Texas, a 27-17 come from behind win over Texas A&M. They were down 14-3 at halftime. Texas was, is that right? Absolutely dominated the second half. Marcel Reed with 2 critical interceptions in the last 3 minutes of that game for Texas A&M. Blew any shot they had of pulling off the miracle comeback. Also, I feel the need to point this out. Pat McAfee already has his shirt off on game day, and it is 9:05 a.m., and Pat McAfee already has his shirt off. I like Pat McAfee on game day. I think he adds a lot to the show. I like his sense of humor on the show. I'm going to be honest. The shirt off thing has jumped the shark now. It was funny in the beginning when he would do it at the end of the show a couple of times. But lately he's just like it's over the top. It's too much now. He's overplayed his hand with the taking the shirt off thing. Now he just looks like a retard it's not, I don't know, it's not funny anymore, I don't think, when he does it. He needs to rethink take his shirt off strategy moving forward. Georgia, of course, beat Georgia Tech just like death, taxes, and all that shit. I mean, just knew it was going to happen. 16-9. Gunnar Stockton's worst game of his career. It was not pretty for Georgia offensively. However, they held the number 1 offense in college football out of the end zone. So there's that. They held Georgia Tech to just 3 field goals. Georgia only managed 1 touchdown. Gunnar Stockton had less than 100 yards passing, about 50% completion percentage. 1 touchdown, 1 interception. It was not a good day for Gunnar Stockton. Georgia ran the ball well. Nate Frazier had a great game, over 100 yards. But the offense overall for Georgia was not good against a bad defense. So that is concerning. Ole Miss, of course, handled Mississippi State 38-19. I guess we'll find out about Lane Kiffin today. Apparently, according to reports from yesterday, he's not going to Florida. So I guess it's down to Ole Miss, LSU, or some surprise team that no one's talking about. But I guess we'll hear something on that today. Other rumors out today is that Penn State is targeting Josh Heupel at Tennessee. I'm not sure why Josh Heupel would make that move. But he's obviously not the brightest bulb, because I remember when he accepted the Tennessee job, and that's pretty dumb too. So, who knows? Utah beat Kansas 31-21. Arizona over Arizona State, officially eliminating Arizona State from the Big 12 title game. They still were mathematically alive if a couple of teams would have lost today, but not anymore. They're out. Iowa 40-16 over Nebraska. That's one of the few bets I got wrong yesterday. I was on Nebraska plus 5.5. That obviously wasn't even close to hitting. Another massive day in the Pay-Lou movement yesterday, though. We'll get to that in a little bit, but I'm way up for the week. That's your recap from yesterday of as far as games anybody cares about anyway. Moving on to today. Ohio State on the road at Michigan. A big game for the Big Ten title, right? If Ohio State wins, they're in. If they lose, we go to some kind of weird tiebreaker. Indiana's already in. They're undefeated. If for some reason Ohio State, somebody can probably tell us in the comment section. I'm not certain on the Big Ten tiebreakers, but basically if Ohio State loses today, Ohio State, Michigan, and Oregon would all have 1 loss. And of course, neither Ohio State or Michigan played Oregon, so I'm not sure how those tiebreakers would come out, but I'm sure there's a Big Ten man in the comment section that can tell us. Texas Tech at West Virginia, they should roll there. Miami at Pitt, Miami's favored by 6.5. Miami is behind the 8 ball, to say the least. Texas A&M, of course, is still getting in the playoffs. There's no one sitting around thinking they're getting in now because Texas A&M lost, are they? Texas A&M might, they're going to drop somewhere in the 8-9 range would be my guess. I think they will be behind most of the one-loss teams because they just don't have the resume. I think they'll be behind Georgia, behind Ole Miss, behind Oregon. Probably be ahead of Notre Dame and Alabama. That would be my guess as far as where they fall. So Miami would need to beat Pitt today and probably beat them bad because I think we talked about this yesterday, but the committee is just itching to come on TV and go, well, yeah, Miami beat Pitt, but, they only beat them by whatever. They say they 13 and Notre Dame beat them by 40 2 weeks ago, so we still have to leave Notre Dame in front of Miami for no reason. Anyway, Miami needs a big win there. Kentucky at Louisville. Louisville favored by 1.5. Clemson on the road at South Carolina. I like South Carolina in this one at home. The road team has won this game for a few years in a row. South Carolina won last year in Clemson, this year in Columbia. But I like South Carolina in that one. Houston on the road at Baylor. Baylor actually favored there. A little surprising to me. Colorado at Kansas State. Obviously, Kansas State is favored because Colorado's dog shit. Iowa State at Oklahoma State. Iowa State a big favorite over, is it 1 win, Oklahoma State? God, they're just so bad. So bad. That's your noon games. BYU plays at 1 o'clock. They host UCF. Must-win game, obviously, for BYU. Moving on to the 3:30 games now. Oregon on the road at Washington. Not an easy game for Oregon, but a game they should win. Washington, I believe, 8-3. A good team, not great, but good. Their coach could be headed out of town soon, too. Next stop, Gainesville. Right, Octavian? Octavian, let's get on that Jed train. Imagine your head coach's name is Jed. Let's bring in these West Coast coaches like Brian Harsin and Kalen DeBoer that can't win shit in the SEC. Let's do that. Maybe that'll work. Good luck, Florida. I don't know what else to tell you. LSU on the road at Oklahoma. Oklahoma's got to win that one. If you're Miami, BYU, Texas, or Vandy, you're a huge LSU fan today. This is one of those games where somebody could move into the playoffs. Oklahoma's with the 2 losses. If they lose, they're out. Look at the over-under, 36.5. If you combined these 2 teams, I don't think you'd have a decent offense. I think you'd still have a shitty offense, even if you combined these 2 rosters here. If you want offense, Vanderbilt at Tennessee at 3:30. I do think you'll see a lot of offense in this game. A lot of offense in this game. By the way, I don't know if they will ask Josh Heupel about these Penn State rumors or not, but he is scheduled to appear on SEC Nation at 11 a.m. this morning. The SEC, what is it? What is the Saturday morning kickoff show that comes on the SEC network? Is it SEC Nation? You know what I'm talking about. It's like Gameday, but it's SEC only over on the SEC network. Josh Heupel is scheduled to be on there at 11 a.m. So we'll see if anybody on there asks him about these Penn State rumors. Vandy at Tennessee, though, I think it's going to be a great game. Missouri at Arkansas. Jeez. Okay. Penn State at Rutgers, Wake Forest at Duke, Cincinnati at TCU. They buried the Florida State-Florida game at 4:30. They gave it an odd start time. That way you don't feel like you have to watch it. You know, they don't want anybody to watch this game. Florida doesn't want anybody to watch this. Florida State doesn't want anybody to watch this. The SEC doesn't want anybody to watch this. The ACC doesn't want anybody to watch this. The TV network doesn't even want you to watch. So they said, okay, y'all go ahead and start watching your 3:30 games, and then just forget about the Florida State game that's coming on at 4:30. Just keep watching your 3:30 games. This might be the worst game of football ever played. This game here, Florida State at Florida. It's just two dead programs that are likely to never recover. I do like Florida to win the game at home, though. Virginia Tech at Virginia, another in-state rivalry game there. Virginia favored by 8.5. They need to win. If they win, they're in the ACC championship game. Maryland at Michigan State. Moving into the primetime games now, we've got Alabama on the road at Auburn, the Iron Bowl. Alabama, a small 4.5-point favorite there. UCLA at Southern Cal, the crosstown rivalry here. Southern Cal, a big favorite, 3 touchdowns. Charlotte at Tulane. Tulane still alive for a possible playoff spot. Maybe. Northwestern at Illinois. SMU at Cal. Must-win game for SMU. If SMU wins, they are in the ACC championship game. That's my understanding. It's a little complicated in the ACC, but my understanding is if Virginia and SMU both win today, that's the ACC championship game. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I think. Notre Dame's playing another G5 team. Back-to-back non-con games to end the season for Notre Dame. Good going, Rudy. What a joke. What an absolute joke. Boy, I tell you. I absolutely love college football. I do. Can I do a PSA real quick, too? Public service announcement. Now, this is only for Georgia fans, okay? Georgia fans, please go listen to Kirby Smart's post-game press conference yesterday after the Georgia Tech game. And understand that that is the mentality of a winner. That is the mentality of a winner. He was asked all these stupid-ass questions that a lot of Georgia fans buy into about, oh, wouldn't it have been better to not play in the SEC championship game? Don't you want to rest up and get healthy? Don't you want a bye week? No. No, we haven't been practicing since February for bye weeks. Football players play football. He basically told the reporter about, as far as somebody getting injured in the SEC championship game, he basically told him what I've been telling you for 10 years. What if a piano falls on his head too? That's what he said, basically. He said football players play football, and when you play football, injuries happen. Next man up. Number one goal every year, win the SEC. A lot of you Georgia fans need to listen up. Listen, because you won't listen to me, because I've been telling you this all along. So you don't want to listen to me. Listen to Kirby. A lot of you Georgia fans are living your life scared. What if we lose? What if somebody gets hurt? We can't beat Bama. What if we don't get a first-round home game? What if this? What if that? What if? That's why you've never done anything at a high level in your entire life. Fear. You've never succeeded or excelled at anything in your entire life at a high level with that attitude. Same thing with the people that go, well, Texas A&M purposely lost the game yesterday because they knew they were in the playoffs and they didn't want to have to play in the SEC championship game to risk injury. You've never played a competitive sport in your life beyond Little League, if that's the thought process you have. You don't get to the top of whatever it is you do by being scared of something. Well, what if we lose? What if you win? A lot of these same Georgia fans that are running around talking about, man, I didn't want to play in the SEC championship game. We might get players hurt. We might lose. Those are the same people that last year, the minute Georgia lost to Notre Dame, they spent the next 8 months bragging about what? Winning the SEC. Georgia's making the playoffs no matter what happens in the SEC championship game next week. So let me ask you this. Whether Georgia gets eliminated in the first round of the playoffs, or whether they make it to the national championship game and lose by 1, would you rather spend your entire offseason saying, man, we lost in the playoffs? Or would you rather spend your entire offseason going, man, we lost in the playoffs, but we won the SEC? You have a loser mentality. Thankfully, coaches who are good enough to get where Kirby is and players that are good enough to get where UGA is don't have your mentality. If they did, they wouldn't be headed to the SEC championship game to begin with. Until the SEC championship game no longer exists, I want to play in it and I want to win it every single year. And if you don't, you got issues. Uncle Lou talking to 5 Georgia fans. Unlike you, Charlie, I have a wide reach. When I talk and when I type, more than 4 people are reading it, and more than 4 people. When I post something on social media, it's just not my 3 cousins replying to it like it is for you. I hear from, talk to, and read thousands of Georgia fans a week. Okay? So when you say 4 or 5 people, you're talking about your circle, which is extremely small. Okay? Mine is massive. You hear this? That's a microphone, and it's fucking loud. But your comment does tell me one thing. I'm talking about you. You're one of these people I'm talking about. That's what that comment tells me. You're scared to play in the SEC championship game. You'd rather not qualify for the SEC championship game. You think they'll lose to Bama again. You think that what if this? What if a piano falls on your head? Well, it might be a week before anybody even noticed, for starters. Charlie, do you like apples? Do you like apples, Charlie? Well, then how do you like them apples? Okay. I got good sleep last night, and the coffee is hitting hard. I got good sleep. I even slept in this morning. I didn't get up till 8 o'clock this morning. Got up at 8, went to bed at a decent time. Coffee's hitting hard. Y'all are fucked today. I'm just letting you know that now. Y'all are screwed. Streaming schedule today. Noon on Patreon for Ohio State, Michigan, and the rest of the noon games. There is the Patreon link. Shout out again to Ashante Beckett. Probably saying it wrong again. He was the winner yesterday on the Patreon stream. Gave away $100. We also had several winners on the rigged wheel yesterday. Let's see. Christopher J had Texas A&M -3. That is not a winner. Tyler P had Ole Miss, Mississippi State over 63. That's not a winner. Jacob R had Arizona -1.5. I believe that was a winner, right? They won the game by a significant amount. Yeah, that was a winner. So shout out Jacob R. You're a winner. Kyle O had Arizona State +1.5. Not a winner. Thomas B had UGA Georgia Tech over 59.5. Not a winner. Benjamin M also had UGA and Tech over 59.5. Not a winner. Edward R had Ole Miss -7. So just to recap, 7 people yesterday got to make any pick they want on the entire slate of games. Just pick one winner is all you had to do. Out of 7 people, 2 people got it right. And to be honest with you, that's about average when it comes to this sports betting. It's not easy. It's extremely hard. 2 out of 7. So shout out to Jacob R with Arizona -1.5 and Edward R with Ole Miss -7. I will send y'all your winnings as soon as this kickoff show ends this morning. And we will do the rigged wheel again at the end of the show today. Or attempt to anyway. Ran into some technical difficulties yesterday. But if you want to get your name on the rigged wheel, there you go. That's the PayPal link. That's the Cash App link. Any donation to the channel through Cash App or PayPal will get your name added to the wheel. And then at the end of the show, we'll spin the wheel. Whatever name the wheel lands on, you get to do what they did. Make any pick you want in today's games. Point total or the spread. Any game you want. All you got to do is pick one winner. And if you get it right, I will send you back twice what you sent me. Hope we didn't run Charlie off, but he's not new here, so he knows the deal. This is not a one-way street here where you just get to type dumb shit in the comment section and I ignore it or whatever. So people should know the way it works around here by now. Yeah, Lou, is there any way Utah makes the playoffs at 10-2? I don't think so. I mean, it's possible because of where they're ranked, but they would need. Well, first of all, I think Utah's ranked too high. Now, here's the thing. I think Utah is a good team, but when you look at their resume, which is what we know, not what we think, their resume is not good at all. It's not good at all. So I think they're ranked too high. But again, doesn't matter what I think. The committee's got them ranked where they do. They would need multiple teams to lose. They would need Miami to lose. They would need probably Oklahoma to lose. Probably Vandy to lose. Because all of those teams, I think, with a win would jump Utah. We're in the case of Oklahoma, they're already ahead of Utah or Notre Dame or Bama. You know, they would need like Bama to lose, something like that. So I don't see it happening for Utah, no. Does Texas have a chance if Bama loses? A chance to what? Get in the playoffs? No. They would need more than just if Bama loses, Miami is in, would be my guess. So, Lou, let me get blue letters and a wrench. You got to come to the Patreon stream to get blue letters and a wrench, buddy. We hand out wrenches on the Patreon stream. I somehow won 2 bets on the same bet yesterday. I don't know why I didn't start making more teasers. I don't have many bets for today's games. In fact, do I have any? I've got 2 bets so far for today's games. Now, of course, I'll add to this constantly throughout the day because I'm a degenerate gambler. But the only bets I have so far are Penn State minus 13.5 and Vandy, Tennessee over 65.5. And we're up $741 for the week. So we've had another, I'm on a God-like run when it comes to this sports betting, which is, I mean, is very unusual. I'm not some kind of savant when it comes to sports betting. I've been doing it a long time. You're going to lose more often than you win, but I'm on a generational heater right now. Over the last 2 months. But this week we're up $741. We'll see if we can add to that today with Penn State minus 13.5, Vandy and Tennessee over 65.5, and then of course, like I said, I'll put in several more bets over the course of the day. But those are the ones I have. Those are the ones I have right now. Texas Tech to cover. I've been betting Texas Tech to cover every week this year. They're an absolute wagon, and I'll probably do it again. I'll probably do it again today. I'll probably do it again today. Lou, who's better, Florida or Colorado? Ah, dang. Well, Florida. Lou, we're head-to-head today. What? Ouija board says Ohio State minus the points. I like Ohio State. I want to get it under 10, though. It's been 10 all week on my thing here. And it's still 10. Now, I can buy it down. And that's, if I bet the game, that's what I'll do. I would come here and I would buy it down to 9.5. And it just changes the payout, you know. But I do like Ohio State today. But I'm retarded. I like Ohio State every year, and every year Ohio State loses. So keep that in mind. But I probably, I'm not going to bet that right now, but I probably will end up betting that because I hate money. I'm allergic to money, I guess. Yeah. Lou, do you think Poverty can win today? I think Vandy can win today. I don't know that they will. I think that's going to be a high-scoring game. But I definitely think Vandy can win. I don't know that they will. Thank you for the super chat. Hogman says, hey, are you watching any games today? No. Thank you for the super chat, Hogman. I talked about this last night on the live stream. There's a lot of questions that get asked in the chat that I know for a fact with 100% certainty the people asking the question already know the answer. And this is another example of that, Hogman. I know with 100% certainty that you know the answer to that question. Am I watching any games today? So, I mean, I appreciate the super chat and all. But I think you just wanted the super chat and couldn't come up with maybe with a question to ask, so you asked that because you know the answer to that. I know you know the answer to that. I think everybody in here knows the answer. Like, I don't even think I need to answer that, only because I am pretty certain everybody in here knows the answer to that. But because you did the super chat, I am going to answer that question. Yes. Yes. Charlie says, continue your little show, Lou. Easy to talk shit one way. Well, it's not as easy as you would think. Now, it's easy for me because I'm an expert at it and a professional. Also, it's the theory of low-hanging fruit. There are people in the comment section like you, for example, who just type dumb shit constantly. So it makes it really easy. See, I can scroll. At any given time, I can see about 10 or 12 different comments in the scroll here on my view that I have. And at any given time, Charlie, I can look at that comment section, scroll through, and pick out 1 to 2 extremely retarded comments at any time. And you just happen to get lucky 10 minutes ago or whatever it was, and your extremely retarded comment happened to be the one that I chose. And it won't be the last either. It won't be the last. Yeah. But also, it's pretty obvious you have issues just based on your screen name. You know what I'm saying? Charlie got kirked. So it's pretty obvious. Number one, you're one of these people that's done let yourself get all wrapped up in political dealings. Which is exactly what they want you to do, you know? So you're falling for it. So in other words, you're gullible as shit. So I don't know. There's just certain, like I said, I've been doing this a long time, Charlie, and certain things become obvious over time. And that's one of them, bud. That's one of them. Now, it looks like apparently Charlie doesn't even know his own screen name. Because he says, dang, that name still pops up? Yeah. Believe it or not, your screen name still pops up every time you type something. Did you not know that? Did you not know what your at name was? What are we doing? Are you the only person in history that's ever been surprised by their own name, Charlie? Now, I can do this all day, but I can continue to pull the football out from under your foot for the next 2 hours if that's what you want me to do, Charlie. Five-star dummy. But I don't really want to waste everybody's time doing that. I'd rather waste everybody's time telling you to head on over to the Uncle Lou store and pick up some new additions here. Get you your gamble. How about a gamble? I don't know what the deal is with the... Can somebody explain to me what the deal is with the upside down words on the hats? I don't know how that started or I don't know. All I know is that they're everywhere. So I figured if they're everywhere, they might as well be on the LouTube store. So I put 2 of them on there. I'll be honest with you. I spent an hour the other day looking for a Vegas hat on the internet, and I couldn't find one that I liked. They're mostly Raiders hats or Vegas Knights hats, and I didn't want that. I just wanted a hat that said Vegas or Las Vegas, and I couldn't find one. Anyway, I came across some hat site that had the upside-down hats on it, and then I was like, well, wait a minute. I'll just make it myself and then buy it from myself. So that's what I did. And then I decided I also needed one that said gamble for no reason. There's a lot of shit that I need that I can't articulate the reason why. But anyway, I had to have that. And you need to have it too. So you might as well head on over to the Uncle Lou store and get you one. There you go. There's the link. Dang, you want some White Tonto merch? Oh, Charlie. You still here, Charlie? Why am I asking? Of course you're still here. You don't have anything else to do. Someone sent this to me. I've got no idea who sent this to me, but it might be Charlie. Did you send me this? Charlie? Is this some kind of early Hanukkah present or something? Who sent me this? Who sent me this fucking Mount Zion hoodie? Some of y'all got more money than sense, I think. You think the Mormons sent that to me? I don't know who sent it. There's no, it didn't tell me who it's from. I got no idea. That's a gift for your brother-in-law? Well, I got bad news for you. That wouldn't fit Lou Jr. And your brother-in-law is 6'4". So that's not going to work. That's the best way to handle that situation, Austin. Be honest with you. Quit glazing Brian Kelly. Tennessee wants Brian Kelly now? There is a rumor out this morning that Penn State is targeting Josh Heupel. Nothing that I've heard says that Josh Heupel is interested or is going or what, I don't know. Now, Josh Heupel is scheduled to be on SEC Nation at 11 o'clock this morning. Maybe they'll ask him about it. I don't know. But I would be shocked if Josh Heupel left Tennessee for the Penn State job. That would surprise me there. Not gonna lie. Hey, what are y'all eating today? I know yesterday was leftover Thanksgiving Day, and believe me, I did my part on that. But what are we doing today, food wise? Are we still with the leftovers? Now, if you are, that's perfectly fine. If you are, that's perfectly fine. If you're still eating the turkey sandwiches, or maybe you got some of the sides left over, I think that's perfectly fine. But I think a lot of people have probably run out by today. So to those people, what are we eating today? Steak? Man, well, you can never go wrong with steak. You never go wrong with steak. Throwing a cookie party? Chick-fil-A nuggets and lemonade? What? Why lemonade? Are you all out of Yoo-hoo? how do I like my steak cooked? Either medium or medium rare, depending on if I cook it myself or if I'm at a restaurant or whatnot. If I'm at home where I'm cooking it myself and I can keep an eye on it, I usually end up on the medium rare side. When I go to a restaurant, I usually order it medium, because it's never the same really at a restaurant. You can go to the same restaurant 10 times and order a medium steak. Half the time it's going to be medium rare, half the time it's going to be medium well. You never really know, but so I usually order medium at a restaurant to be on the safe side. But when I cook a steak at home, by the time I take it off the grill, or sometimes I'll do it in a cast iron skillet, it's usually a little bit more on the medium rare side. Mike Norvell to Florida. Didn't Florida State already say they're keeping him, though? I think Florida State already said they're keeping Mike Norvell. Yeah, see, I don't like rare steak. And so I found out a long time ago, if I go to a restaurant and I order a medium rare steak, sometimes what I think is medium rare, they think is rare. And they then serve me a rare steak. So I've just gotten a habit of every time I go to a restaurant, I order medium. Like, I don't like my steak cold in the middle or even cool in the middle. I like it warmed all the way through. My ex didn't like barbecue, had to break up with her. I love a good barbecue sandwich. I'm not going to lie. I love a good barbecue sandwich. My favorite way to eat barbecue is a barbecue sandwich. I mean, I like ribs, I like brisket, I like all that shit. But my absolute favorite way to eat barbecue is just a good old-fashioned barbecue sandwich. Jalapeno sausage sandwich. Jalapeno sausage sounds really good. What do you think the Oklahoma kicker eats? Is that the big fat kicker? If that's that big fat kicker, then I think he eats whatever the fuck he wants. I don't think he's on a nutrition plan there at Oklahoma. Thoughts on peanut butter and jelly sandwiches? I don't think anybody over 8 years old should be eating jelly. Period. It's the kicker with his pants like boxers. Oh, I don't know nothing. I don't know anything about that. Lou, did you get your Grizzly helmet? Yep, right here. A Montana Grizzlies helmet. Shout out to the Montana Grizzlies. I now have a Montana helmet. Thank you, sir. Came yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Yesterday or the day before. Well, it couldn't have been the day before. That was Thanksgiving. So it must have been yesterday. Yeah. All right, let's get caught up on the super chats here. Corrections 101. Jimbo Bobman says, good morning. UGA beats Bama by 14 plus next week. Well, don't even know if we're playing Bama. But I mean, once you get to this point of the season, there's no difference in a 1-point win and a 1,000-point win. So I'll take whatever we can get. Grant Little, thank you for the super chat. He says, going to the Iron Bowl today, I'll be sure to ask Kalen DeBoer if his players had soft enough pillows to sleep on last night. Oh, Ryan Williams was cuddled up with his anxiety bear last night, wasn't he? I hope it's a good game. I picked Bama to win. I'm not a believer in Auburn at all. So I've picked Bama to win. I hope it's an entertaining game to watch. But I've picked Auburn in that one. Grilled asparagus and salmon with fried onion rings because we're pretending to be healthy. I had salmon yesterday for dinner. A salmon fillet with steamed broccoli and some white rice. LSU will stun OU in Norman. You know, it's possible because in low-scoring games, the margin for error is obviously a lot smaller there. Now, I think Oklahoma's going to win, but neither one of those teams has dynamic offenses, so I think it'll be a low-scoring game, and when that's the case, something like a turnover or some kind of weird special teams play could make a difference. I might have to put some wing sauce and lemon pepper on my leftover turkey. The only thing I do with leftover turkey is make sandwiches out of them. There's nothing better to me than a turkey sandwich made with leftover Thanksgiving turkey. I never had steelhead, no. Never had it. Are you streaming today? Yes. The stream today will be noon on Patreon for all the noon games, including Ohio State and Michigan. That was the way the poll came out over on the Patreon page. Make sure you get signed up on Patreon if you're not already. Gave away $100 on the Patreon stream yesterday. Going to give away $100 again today on the Patreon stream. It's $10 to sign up on Patreon, and you could win $100, so you could 10x your money. But anyway, that's not why you should sign up. You should sign up because it's a great way to support the channel, and we have a lot of fun on the Patreon streams every weekend, year-round. But did give away $100 yesterday. Shout out to Sante Beckett, I think was his name, if I'm pronouncing that right. We'll give $100 away again. And then next Saturday on the Patreon stream, we're having a big giveaway. Merry Christmas from Uncle Lou giveaway next Saturday on the Patreon stream during Conference Championship Saturday. So click that link I just posted. It's also in the description of the video, and get yourself signed up on the Patreon page. You'll be glad you did. C. Sark's presser made a great point for Texas being in the playoffs. They honestly should be in. No, they shouldn't. They're 9-3 with a horrible loss to Florida, a terrible team, and a blowout loss to Georgia. So no, they shouldn't be in. Not unless a lot of other teams lose today. They shouldn't be in over Miami. They shouldn't be in over BYU. They shouldn't be in over Notre Dame. They shouldn't be in over Vandy if Vandy wins today. You could talk me into putting them ahead of Utah, but I don't think it'll come down to a Texas-Utah debate. What's up, David? Do you still do the bet matching? What do you mean? You talking about the rigged wheel thing at the end of the show? Yeah. If that's what you're talking about, then yes. We'll spin the wheel at the end of the show. All the PayPal and Cash App donations get your name on the wheel. There's the PayPal link and the Cash App right there. Georgia Tech should be in over Texas. Better losses is what the committee wants. Yes, you're, 45 minutes late? Almost an hour late, actually. I'll let it slide since it's a holiday weekend, though. I won't dock your pay. Is Georgia playing for SEC championship? Yes. Yeah, that's another loser thing that people do. Oh man, we shouldn't have scheduled Texas, then we'd be in. Or instead of looking themselves in the mirror and going, how the fuck did we lose to Florida? A game you didn't schedule. Yeah, it was scheduled for you. That's loser mentality. Well, we shouldn't have scheduled Texas. We lost to them, and now we're not in the playoffs. You're not in the playoffs because you got humiliated by a terrible fucking Florida team. And you weren't even competitive in that game. And then you weren't competitive again against Georgia in a blowout loss. Calm down, Tennessee fans. You have a coach to find now. Stop worrying about the playoffs. Look, nothing I guess shocks me anymore, but I would be very surprised if Heupel left Tennessee for Penn State. Lou, I sent a Cash App. All right, well, when I pull the Cash App up to do the rigged wheel, I'm certain I'll see it on there. Thank you. I'm obsessed with the Irish and know they had a great run in the playoffs last year, but I can't see them doing it again. Be nice just to kick back and enjoy the games, but I think they're in Adderall. What's with the Adderall? What does that mean? You hope you play Oregon? I don't care who Georgia plays. It doesn't matter to me. I'll make more money if Georgia plays Bama, but from a football point of view, I don't give a shit who Georgia plays in the SEC title game. It really doesn't matter. Lou, does Notre Dame still live rent-free in your head? No, they never did. Oregon's coach chews gum harder than anyone I've ever seen. I think he's chewing on his own teeth. I do think Dabo will make changes in the offseason to his staff and to his approach in the portal. Yes. Lou, why don't you like parlays? Because they're sucker bets. They're the worst form of sports betting that you can do. The only people that like parlays are bookies and sports books. 80% of the money DraftKings made last year was off of people betting parlays. 80%. 80% of the money they made was from parlays. Now, I play a parlay every once in a while. Maybe one a week. But they're terrible fucking bets. They're terrible odds, terrible bets. And the only people that love them or that should love them is bookies and sports books because they make an absolute, DraftKings made 80% of their money off of people who bet parlays last year. If DeBoer loses to Auburn today, he should be fired on the spot. I don't think he'll be fired. I do think there's a possibility that if Alabama loses today, Kalen DeBoer leaves to take another job. I do think that's a possibility. I do think that's a possibility. They are bad bets. They're terrible bets. It's just math. It's not even an opinion. It's just simple math. Parlays are a terrible bet. Sports books, casinos, DraftKings, online gambling sites, they make the overwhelming majority of their money off of parlays. There's not a single professional bettor in the history of mankind that has ever bet parlays. The best sports bettors in the world have a 60% win rate, picking one game at a time. So picking 2, 3, 4, 5, 9 games, whatever, it's a 100% chance of losing money. Somebody saying they hit a 9-leg parlay or whatever that you see sometimes is no different than the guy that won $1 million off a scratch ticket off the gas station. That doesn't mean it's a good idea to go down there and buy a bunch of scratch tickets. Gus Malzahn to Bama if DeBoer leaves. Was Georgia holding back yesterday or what? No, it's played bad. I mean, Gunnar Stockton completed 50% of his passes for 70 yards with a touchdown and an interception. He played like shit. That's not holding something back. That's just your quarterback having the worst game of his career. Lauren, who would you get that's better? Oh, you're not talking to me. Time for Bama to take out the trash tonight. Yeah, I got Bama in that one. Have you played the new NCAA football game? No. What are your thoughts on Lane Kiffin to LSU, assuming it gets done? I think the LSU situation is a complete fucking mess right now. And if I was Lane Kiffin, I wouldn't go there. But I'm not Lane Kiffin. The political shit with the governor and trying not to pay Brian Kelly his money and firing Brian Kelly, and then 2 weeks later claiming they didn't fire him and saying they were going to fire him for cause, and then they just officially fired Brian Kelly 3 days ago without cause. So they're paying him his money. So all those LSU people that were running around going, we're not going to have to pay him, we're going to get out of it, just watch. You're paying him his fucking money. So I just think it's a mess there. That doesn't mean Lane Kiffin, if he gets the job, won't win. He might. But I don't know. I mean, I would rather stay at Ole Miss where I can make the playoffs, once every 3 or 4 years, go 8-4 in the other years, and be there for the rest of my life making $15 million a year, than to go to LSU knowing that if I don't win a national title in 3 years, I'm going to be fired. Florida re-interviewing Billy Napier. But, I mean, I think Lane Kiffin's a good coach. The situation at LSU right now seems a little messy to me. And LSU's a good job, typically. I mean, 3 of the last 4 head coaches have won natties there. That doesn't happen by accident. So I think LSU's a good job generally, and I think Lane Kiffin's a good coach generally. But the way the Brian Kelly thing has gone down would make me think twice about taking that job right now. But I'm not Lane Kiffin, so I don't know I don't know what he's thinking or what's in his head. I don't know. Kalen DeBoer is the leading candidate for the Penn State job on Kalshi right now. Well, Lane Kiffin was the leading candidate for the Florida job on Kalshi 6 days ago. Have any of you guys gotten a call for the Florida job? I didn't get a call. I got an email, but I didn't even open it. I just deleted it right away. I don't have time to take that job. It's raining in Oklahoma. So, okay. All right. That's good. It's not raining here, so it's just cold. I disrespectfully declined the Florida job. Probably a smart decision, professionally speaking. If it snows today, will it only snow in Ohio State and not Michigan? Yes. According to the Ohio State fans, yes. I don't answer for how other people feel about things. You have to ask those other people. Don't ask me how somebody else feels about something. Only a Florida fan could lose 2 days in a row. Yeah, Florida lost yesterday without even playing. That's they're just finding new ways to lose at Florida. Central Michigan or Toledo, I couldn't care less about that game. Sark said if the committee is just going to punish teams for losing, then Texas should just leave the SEC. You're supposed to be punished for losing. If he really said that, he's more retarded than I thought. If he really said that, I can't believe the committee is punishing teams for losing. Is that really what he said? Goalish to Arkansas. Yeah, I thought they were going to get the guy from Memphis, Silverfield. So I don't know. I do like Goalish, though. He's an offensive guy, though. So if Arkansas gets Goalish, he better bring in a home run hitter as a defensive coordinator, because Arkansas needs some massive fucking help on the defensive side of the ball. And Goalish ain't doing nothing to help that. The offense ain't the problem at Arkansas. That defense is horrific. Goalish has to compete with basketball at Arkansas for NIL. Glowish is a great hire. Good morning from a down bad Aggie fan. Well, disappointing loss, but still the best season Texas A&M has had since 1939. So, you won't be down bad for long when it dawns on you that you're in the playoffs and that that this is your best season in almost 100 years. Your frown will turn upside down, I'm pretty sure. Now, I'll tell you this. Marcel Reed got scratched off the Heisman list yesterday. You can forget about that. He probably won't even be in New York. Gunnar Stockton is out. Marcel Reed is out. So as far as the Heisman goes, you're left with Julian Sayin, Mendoza, and Jeremiah Love. Those should be your 3 Heisman finalists. Mendoza, Sayin, Jeremiah Love. Jeremiah Love should win it. Diego Poverty's got a chance to get invited to New York if he has a big day today. So, yes, Diego Poverty. I don't think Diego Poverty can win the Heisman no matter what he does today. But if he has a one of these video game numbers days like he had last week, if he does that again today, then you could have 4 finalists. Yeah, I could see 4 in New York: Pavia, Sayin, Mendoza, and Jeremiah Love. But Jeremiah Love should win it no matter what happens today with anybody else. He's by far the best player. Well, I don't know about by far, but to me, he's clearly the best player in college football this year. I'm not making any national title picks until I see the playoff bracket. Bet your house on FSU money line. No. How happy are you that UJ is in the SEC title game? That's the number one goal every year. That's the first goal every year. Make the SEC title game. That's first on the list. I want Ole Miss to get a shot at the conference so bad. I think Ole Miss is in if Bama loses. Is that right? If Bama wins, Bama's in. If Bama loses, Ole Miss is in. Is that the way it's shaped up now? Yeah, okay. What's up, Justin? Hey, Lou, I really hope Mike Bobo's game plan was vanilla conservative on purpose because of how we dominated Tech on defense the whole game, because if not, then I'm really worried about UJ moving forward. I can't take anything anybody says seriously about Georgia's offense yesterday that doesn't start with Gunnar Stockton. So I guess was Mike Bobo's game plan was for Gunnar Stockton to complete 50% of his passes for 70 yards. I guess that was part of Bobo's game plan. So I can't take that. I can't take any criticism of Georgia's offense yesterday seriously that doesn't start with Gunnar Stockton. It's just look, the minute Georgia's offense had a bad game, it didn't matter why. It doesn't matter who it was going to be against. It doesn't matter the reason. The minute Georgia's offense had a bad game, there was a group of people who haven't had shit to say for 7 weeks straight that were going to immediately start typing about Bobo. And I'm not even dignifying that or those people with any type of answer. Bobo is one of the best offensive coordinators in the country, period. End of story. Why don't UJ fans like Bobo? Because he slept with their wife. You lost 2 offensive linemen during the game yesterday. You entered the game with only 2 healthy running backs, Nate Frazier and Josh McCray, who basically hasn't played all year. Gunnar Stockton had the worst game of his career. And all of that is Mike Bobo's fault somehow. UK at Louisville noon kick about to grab libations, says dealing with Dylan. Yeah, I like Kentucky in that one. It's hard for me to pick. You've got these sort of SEC versus ACC matchups today, these in-state rivals. You've got, yesterday, Georgia Tech. Today, Clemson, South Carolina. Florida State. Kentucky, Louisville. It's got nothing to do with SEC, rah. It's the ACC is an absolute trash fire of a league. It is just, it's the ACC this season is probably the worst I've ever seen a power conference be top to bottom in 1 year. It is absolutely horrifically bad. So I can't pick any of the ACC teams today. So I took Georgia yesterday. Today I'm taking Florida, South Carolina, and Kentucky. They're probably not all going to win, but I can't take the ACC in any non-con game, I don't think, at this point. It's been so bad over there this year. So Louisville could win. Florida State could win. Clemson could win. But there's no way I can pick them. I can't pick any of them to win. Wesley, thank you for the super chat. He says, Lou, I hope your Thanksgiving was great, and I hope you have a good Christmas. Thankful for the entertainment you provide. Hey, thanks, Wesley. Yeah, hope y'all had a good Thanksgiving, too. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, all of that. Good to see you in here this morning, and I appreciate you helping to support the show, bud. Roger Chambers says, if Bama wins today, they'll crush Lou's soul once again next week. Oh, see, that's where you're wrong. See, Bama is winless all time against Georgia in same season rematches. So it's Bama that has no chance, not Georgia. Over under on how many Pavia's mom crowd shots? I have no idea. A lot, probably. Let's go Virginia Tech. Hokey, says Retro KG. Stranger Things was awesome. Yeah, no spoilers because there's still some people who haven't seen it. But yeah, the first 4 episodes of Stranger Things got released a couple of days ago. They're really good. The last 10 minutes of episode 4 was amazing. But I'll leave it at that for now. I don't want to spoil it for anybody that hasn't had a chance to watch it yet. Bama owns UGA. All time, yes, that is true. There's no doubt about it. But in this particular situation, Georgia owns Bama. When it comes to same season rematches in particular, Georgia owns Bama. Georgia has beat Bama every single time in same season rematches. But they don't own Stetson Bennett. Actually, they do own Stetson Bennett. Stetson Bennett has a losing record to Bama. If UGA played Bama in a random Midwestern NFL stadium every year, they'd have a winning record against them. What? All right, we got to get out of here. It's time to spin the wheel. I wonder, can I find a different... That wheel spinner site I used to use has been screwing up the last 2 times we tried to use it. All right, here's a different one. We'll try a different wheel this time. All right, I'm going to pull up the Cash App and the PayPal and start adding people's names here. Let's see. All right, here we go. We've got, oh, let me put it up on the screen for you. Not Barian, Brian. We've got Ryan S. We've got Jared G. We've got Millis. We've got Juke Poot. Not Juice Poot, but Carolina Juke Poot. All right. Let's see what else here. Let's see what else we have here. What is today, by the way? Today's the 29th, right? Yes. We've got Jay Shippus. All right. Shout out Jay Shippus. We've got Kyle O. We've got Dylan G. We've got Mike N. We've got Thomas B. We've got Hogman. Shout out Hogman. All right, there we go. There we go. We've got Dula. Dula. Ooh. I got you on there, Dula. You made it just in time, buddy. You made it just in time. Why is there a blank spot there? I don't know. There's a blank spot there. Well, the blank spot will just be a do-over if it lands on the blank spot. This is a different wheel thing than I normally use because the other one quit working. It keeps crashing. All right, Ken AV Guy. What's up, Ken? Ken, give me a number between 3 and 5. 4. All right. Somebody said click the X next to the text box. What X? There is no X. Oh, right here. I see it. There we go. Thank you. Shit, now I forgot what number Ken said. Stop distracting me. Ken said 4. Okay, 4. Stop distracting me. All right. The 4th name will be the winner. Good luck, everybody. Juke boot selected. All right, spin number 2. Dula. Ooh. All right, spin number 3. I don't know why this is making me laugh. Mike in. All right, here we go. Final spin. The winner today is oh, definitely rigged. Same name twice in a row. Definitely rigged. All right, Mike in is the winner today. Let's see what he says here. He says, great day for some football, Lou, and give me Penn State to cover. I like that, Mike. I like that. Let's write that down immediately, or maybe even sooner if we can. Let's go. Mike in says Penn State. All right, and let's look up the current line for Penn State. College foosball. Penn State, where is you? Where is Penn State? Penn State minus 14. Right, see it right here? Penn State minus 14. I like that bet. I've got a bet on that game, actually. So good luck, Mike. I hope you win, because if you win, that means I win. Because I already have a bet on that game, too. All right, everybody, I'm going to get out of here and get ready for these football games today. I will be live at noon over on Patreon. Make sure you head on over there, get yourself signed up. It is $10 a month for the Patreon, but it's well worth it. It's money well spent. First of all, it's a great way to help support the channel. Second, we have a great time on the Patreon stream every week, and that will be the case again today. Gave away $100 over on the Patreon stream yesterday, and we're going to do it again today. Another $100 winner during the Patreon stream today. And then next Saturday on the Patreon stream, we're going to have Christmas giveaway, so we'll do something extra next Saturday on the Patreon stream. But anyway, I will see you all noon, Patreon. I'll post the link on Patreon around 11:45 a.m. this morning. Just head over to my Patreon page. The link is in the description of the video, or I just posted it there in the chat. But head over to my Patreon page around 11:45 this morning. You will see the link posted to the live stream, and we will hang out and watch all the noon games, including Michigan and Ohio State. Good luck to everybody's team today. I hope all your teams win. Since Georgia already won yesterday, I hope all of your teams win today. Great day of football. Let's enjoy it, the last Saturday of the regular season. And I'll see you all at noon for Michigan, Ohio State over on the Patreon page. Have a good morning.